Hello, everyone. It's Jerry at the Fledge. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. Today, I'm up in my office in the studio up here. I've got my I Am Me by B House Originals t-shirt on and got my headphones on as usual and all of that. So today on the show, we've got our new friend, Corey. How you doing today, Corey?
Good. How are you, Jerry?
Did you wake up with snow on the ground like we did?
Yeah, I actually went to bed late last night and it was already layered up on my roof. So that was a little bit unnerving.
Yeah, felt like April Fools for sure.
Yeah.
So where are you living?
I'm in Commerce Township in north of Detroit, about an hour.
All right. So let's jump into you. Tell us something about you, like where you were born and raised and went to school and some other exciting stuff.
Sure. Yeah. I was born and raised right here. I went to Walled Lake schools growing up, Walled Lake Central High School, and then off to through the hockey scene here in Michigan, and then off to Ohio State for school.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm a Michigan grad. I hope that we're going to be able to get along for 25 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, not a problem. I don't take it too seriously.
I don't either. I used to, I think, but that was mostly just my friends I wanted to argue with. So, So in hockey, you played for the Grand Rapids Griffins, I think, right?
Yep.
Was that? I was living in Grand Rapids when they first started. I don't even know how long they've been around now.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It's been a while, and I think the organization has moved from, like, at one point maybe in Kalamazoo and some other spots, but yeah, it's the American League affiliate of the Detroit Red Wings, and I played there. I think 3 seasons ago now. It was fantastic. I loved living in GR. It was really nice. That was the closest I'd been to home playing hockey in a long time.
Oh, that's awesome. What else did you do besides play hockey when you were kind of growing up, or did you only play hockey?
I played a lot of hockey, definitely, but played a little baseball, stopped that around high school. And actually one of the things my second passion outside of hockey was skiing and snowboarding. So that was definitely something I always did whenever I had the opportunity.
I used to be a good skateboarder, and I thought I was going to be a good snowboarder. They didn't correlate very well.
Yeah, and if my feet weren't attached to it, I wasn't any good. So I stuck with snowboarding and wakeboarding and things like that.
Yeah. So you've recently kind of switched careers. Is that a good way to say it?
Yeah. Yep. My last season of hockey was last year. My family and I were out in Oslo, Norway. I played a total of 10 years pro. About 6 of them were overseas, and 5 in Scandinavia. So last year was my final season, and now transitioned to I'm a part of a tech company called Dualboot Partners now.
Yeah. Did you like Norway?
Yeah, I did. Norway was absolutely beautiful. I didn't really fully. My family and I, we lived in Finland, Helsinki, Finland, for 5 years. And actually, I don't know how, but I didn't know. I had no idea how beautiful the country of Norway is. Just the mountains and the landscape. I don't know how we didn't know. We were so close to it all those years, but when we actually got there and got to do a little bit of driving around the country, it was great.
Yeah. I just read an article about the University of Norway put a call out to all of their students to come back home, and especially if they were in underdeveloped health countries like the U.S. is what they said. So they took a little ding at the United States in their article or in their call out.
That's actually funny. That happens more often than you'd think.
Well, I know they think we're savages and barbarians over here, I think. So, but anyways, you did enjoy your time there?
Yeah, I did. I think, looking back, getting a chance to live in those countries, not just visiting on a vacation or something like that. My kids actually got the opportunity to go to school there. and those I think those were pretty priceless experiences, just for having some other cultures and other kind of outlooks on life.
Yeah. What do you want to let's go into Dualboot. Will you tell us about that company?
Yeah, sure. So Dualboot is at kind of the high level, we're a software development company, full stack software development company, and kind of our unique and kind of value add is that our chief product people are all highly experienced tech founders. So we have sort of chief product level people here in the States, and then we have development centers. One is in Russia and the other is in Uruguay, that are both Dualboot offices. So we kind of specialize in the startup space. We have a lot of between our founders and our chief product people, we have a lot of years of experience launching, building, scaling new tech products. And kind of our core mission is to help in the various ecosystems that we are in, helping accelerate growth and helping startups as like a trusted advisor on the development side, helping those startup areas grow.
So I do a lot of work with startups, and they're usually pretty poor or not very cash rich. How do you do that with them? Or do you find startups that are maybe a little bit more strong or funded, or do you take equity or anything like that?
Yeah, that's another kind of interesting component of the way Dualboot operates is we are able to do some equity. It's not so the company has to have some cash ready to go for their development, but we're able to defer some of our development services for small. It ends up being a small piece of equity in the company, but yeah, it's based on what the current valuation is that they're raising at. It ends up being something like 2% or less.
Okay. So do you guys have a pretty cool portfolio right now? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's been really cool too. Like I've really had not much, almost no experience in anything, software startup related. So, kind of getting thrown into this world here with Dualboot, and we have clients that span fintech, healthcare, education tech, supply chain. So it's kind of getting to see all these different verticals and some of the really cool innovations that are coming into the world here.
Yeah. I think I can't remember, and maybe you'll be able to help me, but you talked about a mission of really helping the ecosystem get more tech, I guess. Will you tell me again what it was? Or
Sure. Yeah. So kind of one of the reasons that Dualboot kind of came to be from our founders is that when they were building and scaling their tech companies in the past, they had a hard time finding and maintaining, like high level development talent. And two of the model that Dualboot is basically the hybrid model that we have is how our founders built their development teams. So we kind of sit in this place where we have highly skilled developers at sort of a fraction of the cost of U.S. development talent, and ultimately our goal is to help companies that need that type of experience and skill set. For me, it's the Detroit area and the Grand Rapids area and the Michigan space.
Yeah, I've never worked with a team from Uruguay. That's what you said, right?
Yeah. So one of our delivery offices in Uruguay, and the other is Russia.
Yeah, I've done Ukraine and Pakistan and India, but I've never even heard of the Uruguay ecosystem for tech.
Cool. Yeah. So one of our founders, Ben Gilman, his experience building an education tech product called Learn, his relationships were with the development teams in Uruguay. So that's kind of how we got our offices there.
Yeah. Is that a pretty depressed area? So the country in general?
To be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about Uruguay and and what's happening there in the town that we're operating in. But I do know from what I have learned about our offices there, and kind of like Dualboot is definitely able to pay our development teams, kind of like well above what is a normal, going rate for the cities and countries that they're in.
Yeah. Um, I love the model, and I love, I care about Michigan and our economy, and I care about our country and all that, but I'm also a global citizen too, and I think that, helping out other countries is a great idea as well. So thanks for doing that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think too, like there's a lot of you see a lot of stuff. At least I'm kind of being exposed to it now, where like high level developers, highly skilled developers, are getting scooped up by companies that are growing, and so like I think there's a lot of developer turnover too, and so it kind of gives some stability too for companies that are looking to have teams that are going to stick with them for a long time.
In the last 2 weeks, I know 3 companies that have lost their chief developer to a better job,
Wow.
a newer job. Um, what? So, do you work with like the economic development groups, like MEDC?
Yeah. So part of getting started here in Michigan was reaching out to those organizations and just letting people know who we are, and starting to connect some dots, and hooking up with like another organization we've recently partnered with is the Startup Grind there in Lansing.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and so yeah, so starting like that's kind of, we don't really have marketing per se, but one thing we can definitely do is get involved on sponsorships at accelerators, and help um, from that standpoint.
So, you working with Ruben Levinson, or
Yeah. Yep.
okay? He was on the show last week. Maybe that's
Oh,
how you saw the show.
awesome. Yeah.
Right.
Ruben's a fantastic guy. It's been great getting to know him.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He must love your company because he's doing a similar like studio venture
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. Yeah. He's been a great person to get to know. Like he operates in the circles that's definitely where we want to be involved in.
so let me throw your website up. What's your website for Dualboot? Just dualboot.com?
Yeah, you can do dualboot.com or dualbootpartners.com.
All right. Um, let's go into or wait. What's something you do every damn day to push that tech mission forward?
Ah, good question. Uh, right now, just I definitely spend some time on LinkedIn. Seems to be maybe one of the best tools to start to do reach outs. It's like it's kind of nice. You can put a face to a name, and learn a little bit about somebody, like trying to set up a meeting or an introduction. Um, but coming fresh out of hockey, still I'm still on a day-to-day basis trying to do something to get a sweat in, and that kind of keeps degree of my sanity, I guess. Uh-oh.
Ah, I am back. I am so sorry. We completely lost power. I don't know if it was a glitch outside or what happened,
No,
but
no,
turned everything off. But we're back on. Sorry about that.
no problem. Yeah, I hung. I didn't know if I should jump off or not, but
Now,
glad you made it back.
did you keep answering the question?
Yeah, I think I pretty much covered it.
All right. I'll look at it later.
Happy to go
Sorry.
back. Happy to go back if you want.
I think you were still broadcasting.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Sorry about that.
Yep. No problem.
I better put this in a battery backup. I thought I had it better than this. Um, so we daisy chain the shows together. We got to kind of keep moving because I know you got a time constraint. And yesterday on the show, our guest Dan, who is a credit card processor, basically said, "What inspires you to do this?"
Good question. I think, as I mentioned, I get the opportunity to see a lot of cool tech that's coming out and people that are bringing some really cool ideas and to the forefront, and then we get to help actually create it. So that's been a really awesome thing to be a part of.
I think that, I like that answer because it's so, a lot of people have great ideas, but they can't get the tech. They might even be able to put the funding together, but still can't get the tech. My number one request is, do you know anybody who wants to do this development for me, even if they've got the money or don't have the money? So I think we'll be reaching out to you from time to time as well. And I do work closely with Ruben quite a bit as well. So I'm going to talk to him too.
Yeah.
So tomorrow on the show we've got Chelsea, and Chelsea is she's an entrepreneur, a new mother, and she's also fighting leukemia right now. And we like to ask kind of random questions to our next guest. So what random question would you like me to pass on to her?
Yeah. So one I actually ask my kids this all the time. If you had a superhero power, would you rather be able to fly or teleport?
I really like that question. And what would your answer be?
I think teleport. It would be pretty amazing to get from any place in the world instantaneously and just be everywhere all the time. Flying,
Yeah.
I guess you can do in a plane.
Yeah. And being on ice skates is like flying sometimes too, huh? um, what is happiness to you, and are you happy?
Wow. Yeah. So for me, happiness is my family. So I have four young children. My wife Genevieve, my oldest is 8, and my youngest just turned 3. So that is the source of my happiness, and yes, I'm very happy.
Yeah, I've got 4 grandkids and 3 kids, and that's my source too.
Awesome.
What gives you hope?
What gives me hope? Probably I would say something like, again, I'd circle back to my kids and just think, like building a future and helping be a part of, like the software and technology is shifting so fast, and seeing it firsthand. So hope in that, as we keep moving forward here, and as things keep emerging, that we're building a good place for these next generations.
Yeah. I just finished a book called Utopia for Realists, and they talk about in the 1400s, how bad it was, and we're basically living the utopia that they always dreamed of.
Huh.
But we create a new utopia that we look at and that we strive for, and I do think we're pointed in the right direction. So,
yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to check that out.
as bad as things might seem, we're in the best of all possible worlds, I think.
Yeah, sometimes that kind of perspective helps recalibrate, what seems like a pretty crazy time right now.
Yeah. I mean, 2020 has been super tough and super weird with everything that happened, but COVID definitely hurt us.
Yeah.
Is there anything we forgot to talk about?
I don't believe so.
All right. Anything you want to promote or anything with Dualboot, or do you know when you'll be doing a Lansing? Are you going to do something with the Lansing startup grind soon, or are you still
Yes.
working that out?
No, so we are. We've definitely been a part of a couple of their virtual events so far. And yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to something happening in person here to be able to get out there.
I'll keep an eye out open for you and come meet you someday.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. So, what would you like to take us out with in our last minute or so? It doesn't have to be a minute.
Yeah, no, I guess I would just say thank you for having me on the show. This has been really cool. I love podcasts and taking in all, and I love content that way. It's been cool. This is my very first podcast I've ever done, so very cool to be a part of that.
Well, I'm really happy that you did it and that you took the time to do it. And thanks for carrying the show for me for that few minutes that I glitched out there. So this show will be famous for the time that it just shut off on me. So thank you, Corey. It was very nice to get to know you. I know you're busy and you got to go on to something else. So appreciate it very much. Everyone else, we will see you every damn day at 2 p.m. for the next 164 days. See you all later.
Thanks. See you, Jerry.